Can I get a drum roll, please? Because this is big. It's time for the Xfinity Best Deal of the Year on Internet and TV. We're talking huge savings. And ask about even more savings when you add Xfinity Mobile. Okay, that's it. Now you can hit the... There we go. That's simple, easy, awesome. The Xfinity Best Deal of the Year ends September 23rd. To learn more, click, call, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas.
Hey now. It's the GodQueenLive here. I appreciate you guys being here. So I'm going to do this podcast while I am doing some graphic design work at the same time. You know, I gotta kill two birds with one stone. So forgive me if you hear my son. My son is in the background. My mother and my daughter are both watching my son. And I really appreciate that. They are very supportive. I really appreciate them. So I wanted to do a live stream right quickie. Okay. I don't even know why I say right quickie, because usually when I do a live stream, it really takes me like forever. Okay. Forever. And so, when I do the live streams, I try to make them short, but this will probably be an hour long. I want to try them to make it an hour. Excuse me, I'm drinking on my cranberry juice, my cran grape. My cran grape. Hold on, let me share my podcast link on my YouTube channel. Like, not my YouTube channel, my YouTube community tab, because I want some people to tune in while I'm doing live. If you are hearing this on Spreaker, thank you for following me on Spreaker. I really appreciate that. If you are listening to this on YouTube, make sure you go to Spreaker and follow me there. The link should be somewhere. I mean, the description box somewhere. You know, hold on. Let's see. Type it. Listen to my podcast now. Okay, so I had to type that in onto my my tab on YouTube. Hold on. Let's see, what kind of picture could I put up? Hold up. God Queen, the GodQueenLive. Hold on, wait. I'll be with you in a minute. Hold on. I gotta find this picture. Wait. Yeah, like, hold on. All right, I'm back. Boop, 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 boop. Hold on, let's see. All right, now live. Okay, so I gotta get myself together. I know people who are listening and like, what is she doing? Okay, so I wanted to do a podcast about the men in my life. Okay, I'm a single mom, and I remember before I became a single mom, I was very afraid of becoming one. And it was only because I had been on YouTube and I had heard a lot of negativity from the men on here. And the men on YouTube just had a negative connotation attached to, you know, women in general. So I don't even know why I let it bother me. But before I even got onto YouTube and I would run into single mothers, a lot of the single mothers that I ran into, they always had their finances together. A lot of them hadn't even filed for child support. A lot of them had the fathers around still. So I hadn't really met a lot of single moms who were living in poverty. I also hadn't met a lot of men who had something negative to say about women who were single mothers. I didn't hear that until I got onto YouTube. And so now that I am a single mom, my son is one. When I first ended up pregnant and I was sleeping in the extended stay hotel, and, you know, me and my son's father had just broken up, a lot of men were very, very supportive, especially on Facebook. Not so much on YouTube, but definitely on Facebook. I'm talking about guys I went to college with, guys that were my coworkers, just a lot of people who were very supportive. I mean, I have females who were very supportive. I think I had more females that were very supportive. I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of associates. I have a lot of people who, just know of me. I have people who know of me that are just supporters and they don't really know me personally. But I definitely have a decent support system. And if it wasn't for the people who were very supportive of me, I probably wouldn't have made it to California, because it was because of them and their donations and them talking me off the ledge on a regular. Okay. I needed a lot of support around that time, because transitioning from being a woman who was used to having a man around in her life that was a positive male role model to my daughter, and having positive male friends and stuff, to turn around and being pregnant by a man who was negative, and then other men on YouTube supporting this negative rhetoric about single mothers, it was just like a headache. You know what I mean? It was just like, wow, I had just never seen so many people be so negative about me being pregnant, or even me being, just left alone. I had never seen so many men be so supportive of a man abandoning his child. And I only seen it on YouTube. Like I said, it's like disgusting set of men on YouTube. I think they're just demented or mentally unstable or violent, criminal records. I mean, for the most part, most of the men that I've seen on YouTube in the black community, they tend to be socially awkward and uneducated, and they don't have decent 9-to-5 jobs. And I don't see a lot of, inside of the black community, a lot of men who are educated. Maybe you have someone like maybe a Boyce Watkins, or you have someone like Robert Blakes, or Derek Jackson, or this guy named Mind Attraction. I think he's a college student right now. You got Tony Gaskins, he's on there giving good advice. Steven Speaks is on there. So you do have some men who are educated that are on there, and when they do speak about single motherhood, even if they disagree with the concept of it, they aren't derogatory and disrespectful. But then you have a flood of men that get onto a YouTube and have something negative to say about single mothers and just women in general, and it's terrible. It's like, I've never seen so much negativity on YouTube in my life in regards to black women. I think that YouTube is one of the worst places a black woman could be posting any type of content. And still, it's a lot of black women on there doing beauty tutorials. It's a lot of black women out there speaking how they feel about their race and interracial dating and things like that. So more power to those women, because I know for me, I've just decided to stop talking about race on YouTube altogether, because I don't even want the headache associated with it. I just, I have my perspectives in regards to race, and I have my perspectives in regards to relationships. But I noticed, a lot of people want me to post what they want me to post. Somebody came into my comment section yesterday. His name was Ali the Bastard. And this is interesting. His name was Ali the Bastard. And he came into my comment section and he said, Soncerae, I know we have bad blood. He posted on a video that was a vlog of me and my kids together. Now, those of you who've been watching my YouTube channel, you've seen me post content of me and my kids plenty of times, because I've just been doing it for so long. I've been doing it for 8 years. Me and my daughter have posted so many videos, just naturally, us having videos about nothing that really has to do with anything, but too much of us just being silly. So I have so much content like that, but a lot of that content is overlooked by a lot of people, because some people like drama, negativity, violence, back and forth arguing and all this foolishness, debates, stuff that has to do with racism and all types of stuff, white supremacy and all types of just weird. It's like, I ended up being pulled in this black sector of YouTube that was so disturbing. So to turn around and try to post some vlogs about me and my kids was kind of something I didn't want to do, because people would literally terrify my kids, tear them apart, basically I don't know, just say a whole bunch of negative stuff. And they're kids, you're not supposed to say stuff like that. So I'm very happy that YouTube is kind of cracking down on that comment section and asking people to be very responsible and more respectable about what they say, and not be so anxious to break YouTube's community guidelines. And so I'm glad YouTube kind of has been cleaning that up. But to try to post vlogs at the same time it was just like, I can't really do that. But anyway, so Allie the Bastard comes into my comment section, and Allie the Bastard is one of those people who has consistently made negative content about me for an extended amount of time. And for me, I don't drink the poison, and I tell people all of the time, don't drink the poison. I don't watch any negative content, period. I don't watch any negative content that is geared towards me or directed towards me, specifically because most of the people that talk about me the most don't really know me well. They just take a piece of something that I said off of a video and run with it in like the wrong direction. And I'm pretty sure sometimes I've even spoke something and communicated in the most porous way ever, and someone responding from how I poorly communicated what I was thinking tends up being something so negative and so ugly. It's almost like, okay, maybe I should have expressed that better, because then maybe this perspective of me wouldn't be negative. But at the same time, it's like, you know what, regardless to how I express myself, whether I'm clear or positive or funny or whatever, it's always going to be somebody out there that disagrees with something that I say. And Allie the Bastard is one of those people. And so I noticed that he had started making videos about me a long time ago, and instead of me like responding, because I try not to respond to people, because I used to be very responsive. I used to think that, you know, I could sit down and have a logical conversation with people, even privately, and that issues that we may have had with each other as far as our opinions, I could probably talk it out and iron it out. But that's not how that was going at all. So I finally realized that, you know, a lot of people just want to disagree with you, and there's nothing that you could do about it. So with Allie the Bastard, after I saw him like making videos about me over and over and over again on YouTube, I was like, okay, let me hit him up first. So I hit him up privately, and I said to him, listen, you know, I don't have an issue with you. I definitely don't have an issue with your opinion. I definitely don't have an issue with criticism. That's not my biggest problem. You know, being a social media personality to begin with, you have to have tough skin. You can't just, you know, be soft and think you're about to, you know, be successful on any in any industry or on any platform. And so I said to him, you know, basically, I don't mind what you're saying. Just don't steal videos and pictures, because then it becomes a whole different thing, because it's about copyrights, and then it starts being about you know, legal stuff. You know, it just starts to be like a whole problem. You know what I'm saying? Like a whole nother thing. And this is just YouTube. I'm sorry, it doesn't have to escalate to a whole nother thing. And so anyway, I was telling him this, and he responded back, and I didn't get a chance to read it or respond back, because I have like thousands of emails a day. So I didn't get to respond or read it, but I saw him continue to post negative stuff. So I felt like, well, my positive email didn't do too much, or he would have just discontinued speaking so negatively about me. And he was still using like videos and stuff of me. And so I was like, you know what, this is just a lost cause, and I don't want to keep like arguing back and forth with people, because a lot of times, you know, the negative stuff, I can't keep putting my energy into it. And so yesterday, when I decided to post a vlog of me and my daughter and my kids, and it was called the 20 most depressing songs you had ever heard. He came into the comment section and was like, well, this is the kind of content I want you to see. I want to see. This is the kind of content I want to see. You're not talking about relationships. You're not giving relationship advice. You're not talking about, you know, priest, your son's father. You should have more content like this. And I'm thinking to myself, I have plenty of content like this on my channel that you've overlooked. This content is getting thumbs down, as well as any other content on my channel, because regardless to what I post, there are 30 to 50 people that just thumbs down everything no matter what I post. And it has to be the same set of people, because it doesn't matter the topic of discussion. It's always 30 to 50 dislikes on anything that I post on YouTube. So I've already established that it's just a hateful group of people that, instead of unsubscribing from my channel and moving on to something else, they'd rather just stay subscribed to my channel and thumbs down everything anyway. That's just what they're doing. And so I was saying to him, he said that if anyone made fun of that video, he was going to get in their ass, right? And I'm thinking, I don't mind people's opinions. I don't mind criticism. My problem is people stalking and harassing me. because I'm a single mother, or because I'm black, or because of my son's father, me and my son's father beefing, or whatever the case may be. What a lot of people fail to realize is that my responsibility is to entertain as many people as I can, not just people who disagree with me, or people who have something negative to say, or haters or something like that. Those aren't, the people that I'm supposed to just be looking at and only making content for them. I'm also supposed to make content for people who love my relationship advice, and people who love the stuff I have to say about spirituality. And I also make videos about me and my son's father and our experience, because there's people out there that can relate to that. There's women out there that can relate to that. And so a lot of people, especially men, and it's not really women, it's especially men, they feel some type of way when I make videos about my son's father. And it's because my son's father is a representative of all of the things they claim men ain't. They want me to be quiet about him so bad. And it's like, why are y'all feeling some type of way about me talking about my own situation? You guys sit down and y'all discuss me, a person you don't know, all day, every day, in live streams and video uploads and podcasts and on Lipstick Alley and blogs and forums. Y'all sit down and y'all gossip about other people all day. I never do that. I talk about myself, because that's all I know. I don't know other people. So I don't bother gossiping about other people. I just talk about myself. And when I talk about myself, I also factor in that people are going to be critical of me. People are going to have their opinions in regards to what it is that I'm saying and or doing. But what a lot of people fail to realize is that with every single story I tell, you only getting 20% of the story. You'll never know a full 100% of anything, because there's 20% of my life that I share, and then there's the other 80% I just don't bother sharing. Now, one thing I'm not going to do is lie, about an experience. Like if I'm talking to you about a story, I've already thought about this story in my mind, this experience that I've had, and I factor in whether I could share it or not. And if it's too many private details inside of that story, then I won't bother telling the story at all. So you don't know what you don't know. You only know what I tell you. You don't know what you don't know. So when you think, oh, I've told you everything, there's no possible way you could know everything about my life, because I'm not sharing my entire life on social media. 80% of my life is my business, so I keep it to myself. You know what I mean? Like, you won't know what that is. It's so much going on in my life that's private and sacred to me. And so I was trying to explain this to this guy, and I'm telling Ali the bastard, like, we don't have bad blood. He was saying we had bad blood. I said, I don't have bad blood with you, and I told you I ain't have a problem with you. I don't have a problem with anybody. It seems like everybody seems to be having some sort of issue with me, and I'm not stunting nothing, because I don't know these people. I don't know these people online that claim they have an issue with me. I don't know them. So how could I possibly feel anything about them? Logically, I can't, because I don't know them personally. Am I gonna, have my panties in a bunch because somebody's saying something negative about me? Nah, because I can't control what they say. I can sit here all day long and be like, keep my name out your mouth. These people are going to do whatever they want to do. And honestly, it ain't even my business what they think about me, because I can't control that. I'm only dealing with things that I can control. So after he said this on my video from yesterday, I was just like, well, fuck him, And then when some other people saw what he posted, and so they started hitting me up. And what I noticed is a lot of the men around me are very, very supportive. And it was men that was coming to me, saying, what they saw him say. And, they had something positive to say about it. And a lot of people just tell me to flat out ignore people who claim that they have like this big issue with me. And it's always men, yo. Which is weird, because it's not men I slept with, not men I've been in a relationship with, not men I know personally. It's just men just on YouTube. No other social media platform. I promise you I don't have these problems on Instagram, Facebook, none of this. None of this. I just, my real life, I don't have it. And so, even though the men on YouTube aren't supportive of me, I wanted to talk about the men that are supportive of me. I want to talk about... the men who have been amazing in my life since my son was born. And none of them, I think only 2 of them are men that I met from YouTube. Okay. Well, no, I think only 1 of them is someone I met from YouTube. And so I'm going to give you 10. Okay, and it's important that I speak about this publicly because I never spoke about them specifically to the point where I'm about to right now. Okay, so there's these amazing guys, these 10 amazing guys, and I'm only minimizing it to 10 because there's way more. That's like, because, I know a lot of people. I've been in the entertainment industry for a really, really long time. I have a lot of positive, like, business relationships as well as friendships as well. So it's just, I have an endless amount of people that are very, very supportive. And I just have a lot of friends, and I just know a lot of people. Now, do I call them my close friends? Like, my close friends are like Beverly. Y'all heard me talk about Beverly, and like Marie, and Singor. I talk about Singor sometimes. But I'm just going to talk about 10 people who have really been good to me since my son was born. So, number one, I have this friend. His name is Cam. Okay? Cam has been my friend since I was like 22. I'm 39 now. Friend has been my friend. Friend has been my Cam. Cam has been my friend since I was like 22. And I'm going to write a blog about this, and I'm going to put more information about them up there on the blog because I want people to know how amazing these men are. Cam has been my friend for a long time. He's seen me go through good relationships, bad relationships. He's seen me go through my modeling career. He has always been just like somebody I owe my damn kidney to. When I needed financial help, Cam was there. When I needed psychological help, Cam was there. When I needed somebody to talk to, Cam was there. And even if I don't go, like say for instance, I go a couple of weeks and I won't contact Cam. Cam will contact me. If I don't answer, he will contact me again. He will contact me again because Cam wants to make sure that everything is all right with me. And he's always been like that. And I love him because of that. Because he has, with no judgment, Cam has been there for me. He was actually the one that put me on to that app that make you look old. I don't know if you looked at my community tab on my YouTube channel, but it's like this picture of me old, like a wrinkly. He had me use this app he used. He was the first person to show me what it was. And I was like, why you look so old? Because he sent me this picture of him old as fuck. I was like, what happened to you? He was like, it's an app. I was like, oh. It's like, nigga, what you going through? Why you looking like that? So anyway, Cam was like very, very supportive. And he's always been financially there for me with no questions asked. If I hit up Cam and I say, yo, I need $200, he cash apps it to me like that. Because he knows I'll pay him back. Like, that's another thing. I love when I have friends that'll give me money and then I pay them right back. Or I give them money and then they pay me right back. That's how Cam is. Like, Cam will hit me up and say he need money, and when I offer it to him or I give it to him, he pay me right back every time. That's Cam. Like, we just have that type of relationship, and I don't know a lot of people who have that. I never have a problem with Cam paying me back if he owe me money, and vice versa. He's never had that problem with me, so that's why we could probably just loan each other money the way that we do, because we both know how to just pay each other back, and I mean quickly too. I don't take long to pay him back at all. Like, if I ask him for money on a Friday, I let him know when I can pay him back. Like, I'd be like, yo, I need to borrow such and such until Friday or next Friday or whatever. And he give it to me, and then I pay him back right on time. He has been very financially supportive since my son was born. Like, when people started finding out that I was homeless and I had slept in a domestic violence shelter and that I slept in the back of my son's father's truck, a lot of the men in my life that have been my friends for many years started kicking in the gear. It really started kicking in the gear. So, okay, so Cam, we got Cam out of the way. The next one is Michael. Michael he's Justice's godfather. While I was pregnant, Michael started taking care of me. Because Michael, he was following me on Instagram. And this is how I met Michael. I met Michael through Instagram, which is interesting. But he also lives in the Bay. He lives in Oakland. So when I moved to California, like, he was already talking to me before I got to California. But then when I got to California, he really started kicking into gear. Like, every couple of days he hit me up like, do you need anything? Do you need any food? Do you need any money? Do you need any clothes? Do you need a ride somewhere? Do you need somebody to talk to? Do you blah, blah, blah? Michael just kicked into gear. I mean, I've never seen a man provide so much for a woman that he just met on Instagram. It shocked me because I was just like, wow. And he was just always talking about how he watched my videos and how I'm a good person and I didn't need to be treated as bad as I was treated. I mean, he cannot stand priests. He hates priests. Like, to this day, he cannot stand priests. And the only reason why he can't stand priests is because Michael has always wanted children. He's older than me. I think he's like 45. He's always wanted children. And he couldn't have it. Okay? He was married once before. He's divorced now. And he tried to have kids and he could never have it. And so he feels like any man who procreates should want to be a father. You know, because there's men out there who have tried to have children and they couldn't. And that's not Cam, but that's Michael's biggest thing with priests. He hates them. And, I mean, he literally wants to kick priests. Like, he hates dude. Like, oh my God, he hates him so much. He has literally bought, I mean, everything. Playpen for Justice. When Justice was first born, he bought a playpen for Justice. He bought a stroller for Justice. He bought food. He bought clothes. I never needed for nothing for my baby because of Michael. Michael literally, like, anything I needed, it didn't matter. He gave it to me. I don't care if I needed $1,000. Michael was giving it to me because he wanted Justice taken care of, period. It was, Justice is going to be taken care of. You don't got to worry about this asshole. I'll take care of him. So Michael has taken care of Justice ever since. He's still around. He ain't left. He ain't gone nowhere. One time we went out to dinner. We went out in Oakland. I forgot the name of this restaurant. I forgot. Well, he's like really, really into like comic books and stuff and superheroes, and because I'm like a comic book geek as well, that's one thing me and Michael got in common. So we could sit down and talk about comic books, and he likes action figures and stuff like that. We sit down and we talk about geeky stuff together. That's one thing me and Michael can do. So we have a really good friendship. You know, it's just one of those things that, and it built during my pregnancy. It wasn't like I known him for as long as I known Cam, because I known Cam, like I said, since I was 22. I'm 39. Michael, I've known since, like, my son was born. And so, okay, so move on to the next guy. Ray. My friend Ray. My friend Ray has been in my life since before I met Priest. I think the year before I met Priest. And he actually is a network engineer. And I don't know if you guys heard me talk about my cousin. My cousin was living here, and he actually met Ray when he was going to college in Florida State. So they moved to California together, and they both had IT jobs here in California. And so they have been friends since college. And so that's how I met Ray. I met Ray through my cousin, but I met Ray through my cousin before I even moved to California, because they always thought that me and Ray would be a good couple. They always thought that me and Ray would be good together, because Ray is just, you know, a really guy. He's one of those guys that has all of this information. He reminds me of a damn encyclopedia. He's the type of person that you can ask anything. I'm talking about anything. I don't care what it is. He knows the answer. He would be an amazing professor. I don't know why he doesn't do it, but he's part of Mensa. I don't know if you guys know what Mensa is. Have you heard of Mensa? Mensa. Right. Hold on. I'm supposed to be doing this design and I ain't even doing it. I'm sitting here talking to y'all and shit. Hold up. Wait. Okay, so Mensa is like this high society, right? And it's like a place for intellectual people. Okay, and they have like lectures, and they have groups and gatherings, and it's just for people who have a high IQ. That's Ray. Ray is one of them. So you have to have a certain IQ to be able to get into this basically organization. Anyone with an IQ in the top 2% of the population can join Mensa, and he's just a part of it. And so he's like that. It's like he can, regardless to what I ask, dude, he like knows the answer. So anyway, I don't know if you look onto, it might be my Instagram, or I think it might be my son's. There's a picture of Ray, me and Ray. Ray is actually there. He was there when I gave birth to Justice. He was in the delivery room. He stayed the whole time. He slept in a chair while I gave birth to Justice. Like when I was going into labor and I had my little resting period, I think I was in the hospital for 7 hours before Justice was born, and Ray stayed the whole time. He came in the middle of the night. I went to the hospital at like midnight or something. Like I think I went to midnight, and I called Ray, and he came. He was there the whole time. He was the first man to hold Justice. And if you look on my Instagram, you'll see a picture of Ray actually looking at me hold Justice. So Ray, he was very supportive as well. He was there for me financially. He helped me get back to health. When I first gave birth, of course, just like any other woman who would give birth, you need a lot. So he was like physically there. He was physically, like, you know how I say that Michael was there financially, but he was there from a distance because he had to work a lot. And the way that Ray is, his job gives him so much freedom to do whatever it is that he wants to do, that he was just there. Like, he's the type of person, he's a world traveler. Like, he's in Iceland right now. Excuse me. And he likes to travel all over the world. So a lot of the times he has a whole bunch of free time. And so when I needed to get back into health, he helped me with that. And so he's been my friend the whole time. Like, he was my friend before that, but we never really got together because, number one, I was in Atlanta. He was in, he lived out here in the Bay. And we had like this gap between us, but we would talk on the phone all the time. And so when I moved to the Bay, I was pregnant when I moved to the Bay, and he introduced me to the Bay. He took me around. He showed me where everything was. We went out to eat a lot. We went to a whole bunch of attractions. He was just that person. And so he just helped me get over, what was happening to me. And he don't like priests either. He was the one that said, don't put priests on child support. He was saying that if he don't want to be there, then let him go. Let him go for good. He doesn't like the way that priest treated me. So his biggest thing was he doesn't want priests to ever be around Justice. And honestly, I don't think priest is going to ever be around Justice. But what's interesting is that a prophetess, which is I be talking to sometimes, like, she come on my Instagram, and every time this prophetess hit me up with something she saw, it always comes true. And so she told me. She told me the other day, she just hit me up randomly. It was like, Soncerae, I'm sorry to inform you, but when Justice turned 5, Priest and Justice going to meet. I was like, I don't know about all that, but okay. like, whatever. All right. Okay, so anyway, the next, I already talked about Cam. I talked about Michael, and I talked about Ray. The next friend of mine, his name is Gerald. I call him G Money. I did a video about him. He had this, y'all know that shirt I wear? If you watch my YouTube channel, I wear this shirt called I'm Not a Human. It says I'm not a human being, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not a human, I'm an entrepreneur. That comes from Gerald's company. Gerald is like a financier. Basically, he has a lot of money. He's very professional, and I've known him since he was a kid. He's like significantly younger than me, and he's always been about his business. Like, when I first met him, it was at a photo shoot. And I was dating the photographer, and he came to the photo shoot with a whole bunch of suits, like a whole bunch of suit and ties, and he took pictures, and that's what he does. He's into finance. He has this company he called, I forgot, what is that shit called? I forgot. 1%er. 1%er. And the reason why it's called 1%er is because him and everybody else he deals with are part of the 1% of people who make the most money in the world. And so that's what 1% is about. It's about Gerald and him, teaching people how to be financially stable. And when I was down, Gerald helped me financially. And he also is still trying to encourage me to open up a 1%er here in California, because he's on the East Coast. So he's trying to convince me to spread the business that he owns out here. He wants me to run it out here. And I told him, I'm just not ready. Like, I have to be a little bit readier to do that. So I turned him down. But the option is still open. He asked me this a year ago, and I was like, I'm not ready. So I've been thinking about it as I'm starting to get more stable, that I might consider that. But Gerald is a really, really good friend, and I made a video about him on my channel. Any of my finance videos, you've heard me talk about Gerald. So go, if you not subscribed to my YouTube channel, go to my YouTube channel and first of all subscribe, and then check out my finance videos, my money videos. In them I talk about Gerald. Okay, so the next person on my list is Mark. Y'all hear me talk about how much I love Mark all the time, because Mark is my moderator. He moderates my YouTube channel. When I do my live chats, Mark is there. Mark has known me for such a long time. I think Mark knew me when I was popular on MySpace. I used to be really popular on MySpace. And Mark has known me since my early 20s. Okay? That's like almost 20 years. Okay? Like, Mark has known me for a really, really long time. And he's the moderator for my YouTube channel. And he has been watching me for such a long time. And he's been my friend for such a long time, and we've been talking for such a long time, that when he sees other people talk about me on like other social media platforms, it's weird, because for him it's like, I know Soncerae so well. She is nothing like these people be trying to make her seem. And so when he see other people talk about me, sometimes he get frustrated, because he's like, I know her, you guys don't. So when you talk about her, it just makes me feel like he gets upset sometimes. Well, the one thing that Mark does, as supportive as Mark is, he always tells me to ignore the foolishness. I mean, it's times he's told me to ignore and I ain't listen. He's been like, so sorry, if you don't ignore this stuff. And a lot of people told me to ignore a lot of the negativity that was happening on social media. And he was one of them. He was one of them that was just like, Soncerae, please, like, ignore these people. But it will bother Mark just as much. When people would say things and make videos about me. I mean, he still hates it to this day, because a lot of people lie about me a lot. A lot of people lie about me so much, and Mark hates it, because their stories, the way they twist my words, Mark hates it. Okay, he hates it. He complains about it all the time. Okay, the next one is Mr. Live. Mr. Live is also my moderator, but I just met Mr. Live. He has been my moderator on my YouTube channel. He moderates my live chats, and I met him when I was pregnant. And the reason why Mr. Live is so important to me is because, number one, he used to be married and his wife passed away. And ever since then, I think the way that he values like marriage and relationships and women in general, he's just very respectful. Even if he disagrees with me, he has a very respectful way of telling me that. And so that's what I love about him so much. But he's very, very supportive, and he hits me up every once in a while to check up on me and see how I am. Okay, my next person is Gore. Okay, if you don't know about Gore is the guy that everybody was trying to pin justice on. Everybody was trying to make it seem like justice was Gore's. They was also saying justice was Q's. If you guys remember Q, I was dating Q before I was dating Priest. But Gore has always been like the guy who was working with me. He always did promotions and marketing with me. He had been to all of my events with me. We always had a business relationship, never a professional one. I mean, a personal one. We just had like a really, really close friendship. I call him my best friend. And of course, he's always like dated other women. He has his own life. And so, no, we haven't been romantically connected to each other. We just always been really, really good friends and really, really good business partners. And so we have done so many events together. I mean, countless events together. When I worked at the Swingers Club, Gore was right there with me. Every single party, every single event, he was right there. He has helped me with my magazine, Block Dimes. He was there when I was doing Block Dimes. He helped me with that. He has just been around for a really long time. He's kind of like, I don't know, he's just that one person that we danced around the concept of getting married. Like, we've talked about it, but we've never fully like tried to implement the idea of us two being married to each other. But our families know each other. I love his mom. His mom loves me. He has a son. His son and I are okay with each other. He knows my daughter. He knows my mom. So we have a really good friendship, and we had a really good business relationship. He actually owns a club now in Atlanta. So, he's just a really good guy. He's really been there for me to the degree of having so much support. Even when it was hard to support me, he was there to support me. So Soncerae is very, very important to me. And sometimes it hurts me that I don't get to see him as much as I used to when I lived in Atlanta. And I offered to have him come to San Francisco, but then I changed my mind. Because it's like, I don't know, it's like a sensitive relationship, and I just need to step back until I'm 100% myself, because I always been the breadwinner. I always been the one that was like owning everything, and the business person, and the one that was in control. And so now the roles have switched to where now he's the one who's has the money and has the club that he owns and all of this stuff. So when the roles are switched like that, it's kind of difficult for me to even look at him in that way, because he was always like, I'm president, he vice president. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like he president and I'm vice president. So it's like hard to switch. So it's just a process with me and him. And if I ever was to get married, it would probably be to him. Nobody else. Like, because I've known him such a long time. I've known him for almost, when did I meet him? I think it's been 12 years. I'm not sure. I think it's been 12 years. But I don't know. I think he's just a really good person. And if I was to ever get married, it would be to Soncerae. He's from Haiti. He's a really good guy. So anyway, the next person is my friend Sean. My friend Sean has been at every single birthday party, event. He's a great dad, because he has like he has a son, but Sean is hearing impaired. And it was me that forced Sean to go out there and learn sign language, because his silly self was hearing impaired but didn't know sign language. And I was like, Sean, like, how are you? Like, how are you doing that? So when he would be around, he would come to events. We would text each other while he was sitting next to me, because of course he couldn't hear. So he'd be sitting next to me and we'd just be texting each other, right? Sitting next to each other. And he's been very supportive my whole life. When he see people, like, he used to see people make fun of me online and say little nasty stuff, and he used to defend me. And I tell people all the time, don't defend me on social media, because all it's going to do is start a whole argument, and nobody got time for that. So I finally got him to stop, but he used to defend me all the time. I was like, if you don't quit it. But Sean has always been there for me too. He's been my friend for over 10 years as well. Very, very supportive guy. Hearing impaired. He has like a whole bunch of nonprofit organizations in regards to that, to being hearing impaired, and he has a nonprofit organization as far as Tourette syndrome. He's an advocate for Tourette syndrome. And that's another thing that me and Soncerae used to do. Me and Soncerae have done a lot of nonprofit stuff together. Like, he's done a lot of volunteer work with me. He's done a lot of community events with me. So me and Soncerae are like good money with that. Like, we love to do those type of things. So he's been supportive with that. But that's what Sean does as well. Okay, so the next person is my friend Troy. Okay, so Troy used to be in the military. Troy and I went to high school together. And when we were in high school, he was just my friend. He would be the person that I always hung out with. You know, we walked the halls together. We sat together in class. And he's just like a really good dude. You know what I mean? Like, I just known him for a long time. He has 2 children, and the reason why Troy and I aren't together, because we used to be together, the reason why Troy and I aren't together is because when I was dating him, he got another girl pregnant. So his second child is basically a child he had with a side chick. so Troy and I broke up then and haven't got back together since. And him and the mother of his first child, right? His first child's mother and I are super cool. Like, because we went to high school together too. So me and her still talk to this day, and she's married to somebody else. But when I need relationship advice or I need something, I hit her up. Okay, because she's like, that's my girl. So anyway, but Troy is like really, I don't know, because I guess because he's in the military. Number one, he real loyal. Like, I love that about Troy. He's real loyal. He's real funny. Everybody from DC, because you know I'm originally from DC, everybody loves Troy. But he's like, if I need somebody to talk to, I can hit up Troy at any moment. It could be in the middle of the night, and I can hit up Troy and he'll answer the phone. So I've known Troy since high school, and he and I are good money. And last but not least, because even though I'm stopping at 10, I got like so many more male friends that are just giving me hope as a single mother, and they was very supportive towards me. These are just the top 10. My homeboy Carlton. Now, let me tell you why Carlton is amazing. Number one, he's an alumni at Atlanta University. All right, and so when I was struggling for money, right, when I first gave birth to my son and I needed money, Carlton was the only person who referred people to me, and those people he referred to me are still my clients, graphic design clients. Carl was like, okay, Soncerae needs money, let me refer some people to her, and every single person he referred to me is still my client to this day. And I'm talking about people who get graphic design from me every day, or like every week. Logos, flyers, everything. Carlton hooked me up. And anything that you see that has to do with a Clark Atlanta University event, alumni, whatever, all of those designs I did. So if you look at like Clark Atlanta University parties, events, community events, whatever, I did them. All that graphic design work I did because of Carlton. So if it wasn't for Carlton, I wouldn't have like a whole bunch of like clients that are actually paying me hundreds of dollars a month. And I respect that because everybody tries to refer people to me, but a lot of time when they refer people to me, these people aren't serious. So they don't end up staying my clients, or they don't even become my client at all. So with Carlton, everybody he introduced me to basically ended up, still being my client. And basically we built some decent friendships off of me being clients, them being my client as well. Like, I noticed that anybody I end up working with all the time, we built this decent friendship with each other after a while, because the relationship flows so well professionally that we end up having this amazing friendship because of it. So I just wanted to talk about that because I want people to understand that even though I might say negative things about my son's father, I always say positive things about my daughter's father, who is also an amazing friend, and he's just honorable mention. Like, my daughter's father is just so cool. I mean, he's also somebody that I can go to if I need anything, and he'll just get it for me, and vice versa. We just like that with each other. We were friends before we got in a relationship, and then after our daughter was born, and even when we broke up, we still ended up having like this good friendship. So he and I are just amazing with each other. But I didn't want people to assume that because there are people who are not supportive of me on YouTube, that I don't have people who support me, or I don't have friends or anything like that. I have an amazing support system. And I have some really good men around me. And just because you get on YouTube and you see a whole bunch of negative men saying negative things about me, or about black women, or about single mothers, or whatever the case may be, don't automatically assume that these people are right. I have some really supportive people in my life, especially men. And usually it's men who I've known for a long time, or men who was introduced to me through someone. It's never people from the internet. Because what I noticed, people get on the internet and they act different. They don't act how they act in real life. So I noticed the difference. But I just wanted to be clear, I have people in my life who love me deeply. I just put a blog up on my Read My Mind blog, and inside of it I was talking about the people who are hateful and people who say negative things about me all the time, and why people hate. Because a lot of people don't, I guess, they don't understand what hate is. And a lot of the time, hate is just a person unable to have self-esteem or be able to self-reflect. And because I said that a lot of people have said some negative things about me, one could possibly assume that I mean like everybody hates me. It's not everybody. Matter of fact, it's only a small percentage. In regards to the people that love me so much, it's only a small percentage of people that have some disdain for me. But I don't expect for a whole bunch of people to like me. I'm not interested in getting a whole bunch of people to like me. That's not even one of my concerns. However, I am concerned about I need to display more positive relationship that I have with people, because I have a ton of them. and I never get a chance to talk about that stuff because I'm always talking about controversy and a lot of the negativity that does happen. I do post a lot of positive stuff, or positive quotes, positive videos, but then I talk about a lot of the friction that happens to me as a black woman, or a lot of the harassment and stalking that I've experienced online. Just because there's a whole bunch of people stalking or harassing me, or a whole bunch of people saying something negative about me, most of those people don't know me. They've never met me. And so the friendships that I do have, I'm probably going to start speaking more about. And I try to keep my friendships sacred and to myself, because it's not nobody's business. You know what I mean? I feel like that's part of my life that I don't want to just go around sharing, because that's the 80% of my life that I like to keep to myself. But I still want to be able to, not confuse anybody and have everybody thinking that, oh, everybody hates Soncerae. No, that's not the case. I have plenty of friends. And if you go on my Instagram, you'll see I have plenty of friends that I post. I try not to post them, but I have friends that I post. I have some pictures on Facebook too, but if you're not my Facebook friend, you can't see pictures of me and my friends. Like you can't see. Like, I used to post them all the time. I don't post them as much as I used to, but I used to post them all the time. Oh, I haven't even met anybody. Well, I have friends here in Cali, but I haven't taken any pictures with them yet. I haven't had time to hang out with them as much as I would like to. So anyway, I appreciate you listening. If you are listening to this from YouTube, please go to my Spreaker and follow me there, okay? What else I want to say? Catch me on IGTV and Facebook Watch if you're a single mother. I've been putting a lot of single mother content up there for you. So if you have any, you need advice or you need counseling or something like that, just email wegiveyoululife@gmail.com. I have this new website up called wegiveyoululife.com, and it's going to be resources for single mothers. So just be on the lookout for that. I appreciate y'all listening. Have vision and stay focused, y'all. Namaste.
Who am I and how am I feeling? I'm Clive Owen and I'm feeling great, thanks. How about you? You feeling happy? A little angry? People have so many feelings, millions of them. But what if businesses could really understand all of those feelings and then act on them to make their customers feel better? It's a thing. It's SAP Experience Management, and it's here. Because the future of business has feelings, and I've got a feeling we're all going to like it. Go to sap.com/XM to learn more.
You'd love to be more successful, right? Who wouldn't? The problem is finding time to do even more when your to-do list is already overflowing. This is Bob Proctor. What if I could show you how to simplify your days and start multiplying your results by doing one simple thing every morning for only 6 minutes? Because the truth is, success doesn't have to be complicated. Click to learn more about how 6 minutes to success can help. Try it today for just $1. What have you got to lose? $1? 6minutestosuccess.com.